Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019 Stage Racer, episode number 78. Just finished up the Tour de France last time. Fourth place finish. Could be better. I mean, we missed the podium, but it was still a good race. We did claim the King of the Mountains jersey, so that's one small victory on that part. We still have our fitness peak for now. I don't know how much longer. Let's see. Triggered on the 7th. And we're looking at, what was it, a 31-day month. So it'll be ending right around the Ride London Surrey Classic. It should definitely last for San Sebastian, so we've got a couple races upcoming. But as it's the 1st of August, the transfer market has opened. So the update on the contract situation. You can see Ineos really want to have us, as does Mitchelton Scott. A lot of other teams are quite pleased with us. You can see everybody's in the yellow. So we stand to face multiple offers. But of course, Ineos is built for GC. I know it's not exactly the most popular team out there, but we should have some type of offer coming in from them. Let's see, $175,000. That's insane for a monthly salary. I'd much rather see something else, besides that. Less money, for example. But we're classified as a superstar now. We're just not on a team that supports that, right? We're not a team that's built for GC. If I was a puncher, it would be different. If I was a classics rider, time trialist, it would be different. But as a GC rider, you do need some climbers around you, at least a handful, and we just do not have that on this team. And as better as it's been with Mitchelton Scott as it was the previous season, it's not enough. So we're going to open with the Classica Ciclista San Sebastian. It's a nice little race. It's a punchy one, though, and it'll come down to the climb right at the end. And there shouldn't be okay. It ended early. I should have had at least one day left. Well, there goes my bonus. Goodbye, bonus. I thought I'd have it for today anyway and have a chance to win. I'll see you at the end of the race. Final 22 kilometers. Peloton actually just coming back together. Alaphilippe has left the field behind, but you can see here he is. We've caught back up to him. So he just wasted a bunch of energy trying to go over the penultimate climb, and instantly the field sits up. So that brings a whole bunch of riders back into this that weren't here previously. Now Chavez actually going to be a little bit better protection. We're going to switch these up. I'm going to use Chavez for protection here, and then Smith. You're good on the flat. I want you to up that pace because I don't want everyone suddenly recovered. I'm in good shape. Most riders are going to be pretty dang tired, and if we allow the field to sit up and come back together, which it's already jumped back to 111 riders from 30 a moment ago, chasing just Alaphilippe, then everybody recovers and gets stronger. You can see Hindley, Otten, Massey went from nothing to a little bit of energy restored here. So I do not want to allow that, because to win this race, it's simply getting away from the rest of the field on that final climb, and then being able to stay away. If they have the energy, they'll catch us. So Smith rides hard. We approach the climb at 13k to go. And we're going to get a little bit closer here. Now 12k to go. Is Poles attacking here? He is still riding Ineos. That's just his national colors. And where am I? Right there. Where's the optimum place to go? Fairly soon. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to set a 95. Chavez, you're going to relax. By relax, I mean attack, but not 99.
There's now just 10 kilometers left. This climb features some dreadful percentages.
Okay, he gets through the first part of the climb. He's in that prime spot. We're going to go over this little flat. I'm going to attack the second part of the climb. Hopefully he's got just enough energy to get there. He does, and we've split off. Oh, perfect. So already we have some space. Let's see. Just a little separation. Landa, Neo's coming, but you can see how split and stretched the field is. And Chavez is only going to last a moment longer. So there goes the moment. And then now I'm going to attack. It's going to leave him behind, but that keeps that little separation there. There's the top. Red bar runs out right as we reach the top. We go over. Plenty of yellow bars still to go. I've still got my gel.
A team leader is falling behind.
Getting a lot of time right through here. Now we go into the descent, sit up a little bit. Use our gel, final 5K.
Only 5 kilometers left.
And let's see how we're looking as we reach the bottom with 3.5K to go. So back, it's just 9 seconds behind to an Ineos rider, and then you can see 2 more guys right around the corner, an Astana rider at the other corner, but the field is very spread out, so this is individuals. That's Bennett, who's behind me. It's Alaphilippe, Yates, and Egg, the trio on the other side street there, and then you've got 10 riders following that. This is a very small gap, 9 seconds, not much, but 3.5 kilometers. Okay, I've been caught. Alaphilippe and Bennett, and Alaphilippe, there's no way I'm beating him in a sprint. Is he attacking already? He is. Really? Why can't I follow? It was odd that we couldn't follow. We could follow Egg, but we couldn't follow Alaphilippe. Okay, group 4, 2K to go. And we're catching back up to Alaphilippe, who, again, wasted all that energy earlier, but he's got a head start here. Is 1K too early? It is, but 800 meters is not. There's the attack. I've got the energy that the others don't. Is it enough? Just down to the end of it, and I get the win. That advantage, saving that energy, actually pays off. Bennett, Alaphilippe, Yates, and Egg all catch me, but it took everything they had left in the tank to do so. And then of the other 4, Bennett was the only one who had any sprint left in him. And I was able to not outpace him, but the fact that I still had energy to sprint was enough to actually win the race. I think that's the first sprint that I have won. Again, I didn't actually win the sprint. I just sprinted, and everybody else were like, and then I crossed the line first. So, there you go. Even with a -1 race day condition, I claim the race victory over Bennett, who was the closest behind me, Alaphilippe, who wasted his energy early on the penultimate climb, otherwise he would have crushed this, and Yates and Egg were just a step behind. Lambrecht, Lutsenko, Carthy, Carapaz, and Landa round out the top 10. That's big names. That's big names. So that's a good win for us. Matthew Vanderpool here only grabs 20th.
And here are the key
He should have
moments
done
of the
better.
race.
Bad day for him. And I only get 15 points because they thought I should win it. That is still such a frustrating thing. That you get 0 credit. We're right away starting the build for our next fitness peak. Assuming that's for Spain. The Vuelta. London Surrey Classic. This one, I'm trying to remember the profile. Is it flat? Is it in London? Oh, yeah, it's got the little baby hills. This one's not going anywhere for us. So I'll see you in the next race. So Movistar's budget down. Mitchelton Scott's budget up. I think we're having a little Bora Hansgrohe effect. Small team, small budget, splash big to get Peter Sagan. He ends up increasing the budget of the squad. And in my case for Mitchelton Scott, it's more of a one and done. So the team does well, has good riders, but struggle. Budget drops, but they pick one good rider up and then lose all of the quality that they have otherwise. But the one good rider does enough to rebuild the team's budget, and then you lose the one rider, freeing up a ton of cap space. So Mitchelton Scott probably will end up being a pretty decent team next year with all the replacements that they're able to bring in, or that you would suspect they'll be able to bring in. One surprise thing against what I expected is that Froome has accepted an offer and is renewing his contract with Ineos. Now, the reason why I thought Froome would not be back is I figured somebody's going to have to go. And I already saw that Sivakov and Bernal were signed long-term. With them long-term, myself coming in, I figured who's going to make way. Kind of thought maybe it would be Froome, because Froome's on a massive contract, and dropping an ability, you'd probably rather hang on to like a Kwiatkowski than a Froome. Apparently they have enough budget for all of us. At least I'm hoping they do, because I'd rather not lose Kwiatkowski at this point at his age. I'd rather the team loses Chris Froome. Dumoulin also extending with Sunweb, and I do have an offer coming in for $174,000. Dang, that's a lot of money. But I'm absolutely going to accept that. That was our goal. That was our target. So we're going to take that deal. 222 points, which isn't the greatest total, but next season I'm absolutely going to invest those points into bringing the right riders to the Grand Tours with me, making those my primary objectives and trying to, if we can, win each of the Grand Tours. Valgren going to Direct Energy. Gaviria staying with AG2R. And Antwerp in the Peloton. I'm trying to remember who they replaced as a sponsor. Was that with me when they switched over? Was that this series? I think it might have been. Movistar apparently moving away from being a GC team. Budget's down, and yet they pick up Peter Sagan. So nice little pickup for them, but it seems like they are not going to be in the GC game much longer. CCC, their budget's down. I think they already missed out on World Tour this season, and that's a good reason for their drop in budget. And Bennett is staying with Ineos, so I'll have at least Froome, Bernal, Sivakov, and Bennett all with me for next season. And if I do get to claim that role of team leader, watch out. Watch out. Think what I can do with those guys around and protecting me and controlling the peloton, controlling the small break front group late in a climbing stage. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Let's see here. A couple other things. It's the 24th of August. We're going to be starting La Vuelta. But before we do that, we're going to check on just a couple of things right now. Team rankings for next year. Yeah, we're right to the top of the list. No surprise that Ineos, with that group of riders, including myself, are classified so highly. To cut a quick step, Jumbo-Visma, Movistar still up there, 4.5 stars. EF Education First, and Astana, all at 4.5 stars. Emirates, Sport Hansgrohe, Lotto Soudal, AG2R Sunweb, Trek, Groupama FTJ, Direct Energy hanging on to their spot. Mitchelton Scott, still a 4-star team, despite losing myself. SEG, Racing Academy, they did qualify this year for World Tours, so they are looking to retain that spot. That's the last 4-star team at the moment. 3.5 stars, a short list. Bahrain Merida, Cofidis, Wallonie Bruxelles, Vital Concept, Dimension Data, and Rally UHC fighting for that last spot, or those final spots in the World Tour, which, let's see, right now, that would be the last 2 spots. Wanty Group Gobert, not far from that list. Bardiani might try to do something if they could. I don't think anybody else is going to have the kind of budget that they need to work with, but CCC is all the way down to 34th right now. Ouch. Okay, let's start with who's left. So, contract free in 2023. Run that search. There's still a number of 76s available, but that's the highest. So, Degenkolb, Trentin, Chiardi, Mohoric, Barguil, Dunbar, and Lindahl. Emmanuel Lindahl, American rider. It's got to be a young guy, 20-something. Yeah, 22, time trialist. 77 in that discipline already. Among the 75s, Cockard, Solo, Philipson, a bunch of sprinters, and classics riders for the most part in there. Yannis Gira, Kelderman is there. The three best riders for Mitchelton Scott right now are all unsigned. Mostly sprinters in that 75 range, though. Alright, so AG2R right now, bringing in Laporte, Mollema. Just 15 riders signed up though, so they've got a lot of spaces. Gaviria and Latour are their top riders. For Astana, you can see they're shifting, currently at least, away from time trial towards sprint and better in the punch. They're still good in the GC category. Higuita and Moss are their top riders. Bahrain Merida dropping off a bit, especially in the time trial. Bjerg is gone to Dimension Data. Jack Haig is now their top rider. Sport Hansgrohe staying in 4 stars, still a classics team, classic sprint punch team. Niels Pollitt, Sam Bennett, their top riders. Get a quick step, stay in strong. GC, Hills, Cobbles, Alphilippe, Lopez, and Youngles. A Venipol there also. Venipol up to a 77 now. EF Education first. Classics and Sprints. Caleb Ewan, Yves Lampart, and Ernesto Del Mar Gustavo. Or Gustavo Ernesto Del Mar. Whatever it is. Oh my goodness. Too many names. Too many names, sir. Too many names. Matthew Vanderpoel leading Team Emirates. Stefan Kung for Groupama FTJ, and they're pretty weak. Lotto Sidal, Grunewagen, Sprint Team. Mitchelton Scott losing their GC. That's myself. Right now they've got Jakobsen. And a number of guys, so they are bringing in a number of new riders, but of course losing myself and Anthony Turgis certainly hurts, but it's a good group of riders coming in that strengthen them quite a bit. But they'll struggle to score points next season. Movistar seeing a pretty good jump in their sprint rating, their time trial coming down a bit. They're right now. Sagan, their big improvement, but they lose Lampart. SEG, I don't know how they qualified for World Tour. How is that 4 stars? I don't see how that's 4 stars. Or they don't. They've got a tiny team right now. They had a small team anyway. Dimension Data. Bjerg coming in. Higita out. And Burrow out. They'll struggle with that kind of squad. And here it is, Ineos. Wow, look how much stronger we are in time trial and GC already. Cobble and Sprint are down a little bit. So Halverson is out, Van Barl is out. Okay, well, Poles is out, but at 34 and just a 76 overall, you don't mind losing him. Look at the addition of Oscar Rodriguez. It's actually an improvement on Wout Poles. 79. I like that addition. Bonifacio in to replace Halverson. He's not quite the same sprinter. Probably a little bit cheaper, right? But overall, it's just about a wash, other than I provide a bit of an upgrade to the team. So there we are on top with Sivakov, Bernal, now a 79. Bennett, wow, look at that. Landa was already with Ineos. I forgot about that. Chris Froome, Rodriguez, Kwiatkowski, all still signed on. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for next season. Hey, look at that. Mascane, a puncher. Yeah. And then Bonifacio, the first one. That's something else. Luke Rowe, first one. That's a classics rider. So we are very much a GC team. And with me coming in and those guys supporting, I think it would be disappointing if we don't win all 3 Grand Tours. I'm excited for next season. Jumbo Visma, though, pretty strong too. But they're strong in kind of a different way. They're bringing in Mark Hershey and Wout Poles. They do lose Grunewagen, though. Oh, that hurts. Grunewagen going to Lotto Soudal, and he's been dominating this season. Now they're going to rely very much as a classics punching team, even though they still have ability in GC. But look at the uniqueness of this squad. Wout van Aert, Mark Hershey, Michael Matthews, a sprinter with punch. Martinez, he's going to win a lot of stages through breakaway, KOM kind of stuff. Rowan Dennis on the time trial. Kruiswijk is their top GC guy, and so you can see, and Wout Poles coming in. It's a good balanced squad. I mean, that would be a fun squad to manage and try to do something with. Sunweb, it's all about Dumoulin. Direct Energy, Carapaz leading the way. Just 29, but he seems to be fading and lowering in ability. 84 on the climb. He's just doesn't really have much else. Surprised he's only a 78 though. You'd think he'd be higher, especially with that climbing capability. Their squad very thin right now, just 11 riders. Very much see what direction they're pointed. Trek, Egg, Ciccone, not strong enough. Really, those guys shouldn't be leading. They should be number 2s. Gegenhardt, he's only a 76. What? Okay, 81 climbing. Just doesn't have the others. AG2R, we're back to the top. And right now, I don't think there was any teams coming from Continental that looked dangerous. So yeah, we should be in a strong position for next season. Let's go back to home. Before we jump into the race, let's see what we have. We open with a team time trial, so La Vuelta doing it again this year with the team time trial. We also have an individual time trial, but early on stage 11 on a punchy one, 38K for that. It's 26 for the team time trial. It's for a team time trial that feels a little bit like a prologue. Times will be pretty close together. I suppose that's a good thing considering it's stage 1, but then we start climbing right away. Stage 2 is a mountain stage. 3, 4, 5 are all punchy stages, so we don't see our first sprint stage until 6. That is unusual. That's really going to open up the field and the GC battle before the sprinters ever get to see the finish line first. That is certainly unusual for the race, and the climbing stages are really spread out compared to how they normally are. I mean, it's 2, 8, 10, 14, 15, 16, and then you don't see another until 20 for the final one. So the bulk of the mountain stages, 5 of 7, are in the middle of the tour. 1 at the beginning, second stage, 1 on the penultimate stage, but the rest are all contained between 8 and 16. I mean, those 14, 15, 16 are going to be very decisive, I think. You'll pretty much have the tour decided by that point. I would imagine that the time gaps are going to be big enough, but it depends, I suppose, a little bit on 18, 19, if there's a chance for time gaps to exist there, and that all depends on the profile. So let's check out the profile. Stage 1, very flat, little bit of undulation, but stage 2, that's definitely a big climb at the end, but it's not that big. It's 12K, yes, it's only 5%. So I expect that to be a small group finish, but 10 riders, 15 riders on the same time. Stage 3, punchy. Stage 4, that'll be a 20, 30 rider finish. 5, how is that even punchy? That's a sprint stage to me. I think most sprinters can get over that. Michael Matthews certainly could. Sagan certainly could if they were here. 6, there's your first sprint stage. It looks like the others. Same with 7. So I think we will see some sprinters winning earlier than 6. 8, though, that is absolutely a steep climb. 6.4 is still all it is, but it's also 15 kilometers. It just maxes out under 10. That's why the average isn't that high. But that will be a lot more decisive than the stage 2 climb. And I think we will have an individual or 2 or 3 riders at the finish line. GC will be a little more in place by about stage 8. Stage 9, punchy finish, but it's very short. 10, double climb, big climbing, steep climbs. That will certainly be individual. 11's the time trial. That's going to really thin the field out, especially with that big climb through the middle of it. 12 kilometers, 4.5%. Ooh. Ooh, that's a really good chance for myself and if Tumulon's in the field to really open up some gaps. Sprint. Decisive 4 climbs. Very decisive. And 230 kilometers. That's looking like a Tour de France type stage. Oh, it's Andorra. Okay, yeah, that's why. It is a Tour de France type stage. And not as decisive, but it's 146k, so we'll probably be chugging along pretty hard. Flat. How is that not a mountain stage? I'm surprised that's considered a hill stage. That's a hills stage, but it's also a hilltop finish. And a final climb. Dang, that is... Oh! 12k, 10%, topping out just under 20. Oh my goodness, 20. Stage 20 actually still has a chance to alter the standings unless the gaps are massive. 21 into Madrid. Yeah, wow. This is quite the profile for La Vuelta this year. I mean, climbing is almost never what the other Grand Tours offer, and La Vuelta is a much easier one to come away with the win. I don't think so. Not this season. This is going to be an epic La Vuelta. But looking at the time, I am out of time for this episode, so we're going to get started on La Vuelta next time out. We'll jump straight into it. No profile, so the team time trial will be there. Over the last 2 episodes, 3 good things have happened. 1, we add another jersey to our closet. We added our first classic to our trophy case. And even if it's not the most popular team, we're going to be moving from Mitchelton Scott, where we've had no support, to Team Ineos, where I'm going to be surrounded by climbers. I will use those points to make sure I have those climbers in my support, and I think we've got a very good chance of winning 3 Grand Tours. But can I get one this year in La Vuelta? I don't know. With the team support, it's going to depend on who's there. That is a tough La Vuelta compared to what is normally out there. But the time trials, that's a boost to me. And a couple of those stages. I can certainly claim some wins in this stage, and maybe I can get on the podium, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to win this one. Decathlon Gamer, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. Be safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.